making another tutorial, but I'm going to use all the basic edition on how to layer vinyl or layer colors in Silhouette Studio. So using plain old basic edition. I'm not going to be using any designer tools. I'm not going to be using any of my business edition tools. This is all going to be basic. So you basic users, this is just for you. Okay, so you have a black and white JPEG that you want to use and you want to make it pretty like this. It's doable, it's possible, but you're gonna have to pay very close attention, and I will go as slow as I can do with as much detail as I can do. So follow along step by step. Feel free to pause step by step and then work with me here, and then it will look like this by the end of the video, I promise. So this is the picture that you want to do, and you guys can see this is how I have it set up. This is all my individual pieces, and I grouped all my individual pieces by color. Okay, don't freak out, just relax. I'm gonna show you everything, I promise. So this is our JPEG that we're going to use. I just took this straight from Google, and you're going to select trace area. You're going to highlight up to there. I don't want those words, okay? And what that's going to do, that's going to put little yellow lines on there. So we're going to turn up the threshold just a little bit, try to get it even, and that looks good to me. So we're going to push trace. And what that's going to do, this is going to create cut lines on top of your JPEG image. So you can drag this away, and this is what it looks like. Okay? Right now you can't see any color on it. You just see red lines. Those are your red cut lines. So we're going to highlight it. We're going to change the color to black so you can see what the cut lines and what the area is going to look like. So think of it this way. If you want this black to be your background, so you see if I drag away this purple, it's going to be black behind there. So if you want a white background, you set that to white, and then it's going to be a white background. Or if you set it to purple, it's going to be a purple background. So if you want a base layer, which I suggest always having a base layer of vinyl or cardstock when you're layering, set your lines at this next step to the background color that you want it set at. Okay? So we're just going to set it to black. Okay, now I'm going to zoom in so we can find it. This is the part where it gets technical, so don't get lost, just follow along. So this is the size that I want. But if you want it smaller, make sure and make it smaller or bigger before you separate all the pieces and colors. Because if you ungroup it or you release the compound path on it before you get all the colors individually set up to the correct sizing, it's not going to work. Okay? So that's like saying, let's zoom out. This purple piece. If I didn't have all my purple pieces together as they should be, shrink it down. It's not going to fit right, is it? No. So make sure, so such as down here on my other purple piece, I have it the correct size, but let's duplicate it so I don't mess up this one. I'm going to shrink it down, and now nothing is going to fit the way it's supposed to. You see that? So make sure you size it before you undo the puzzle. And I'm going to call it a puzzle, because what's going to happen is you're going to release all the pieces, and then you're going to recolor them the way you want them colored. So select your image, right click, and if you want to, duplicate so you don't mess up that one. There, we got a hard copy. So select your image again, and then release compound path. There we are. Don't freak out. Don't freak out, okay? So what this does is this highlights everything and this released the compound path. So it's saying, hey, you want it to look like this, but obviously you want me to customize it. So we're going to drag away our black box. Okay? We're going to drag away our background. Now you ready? This is the part where it's going to get a little more crazy. So going based by my image here, the cherry, I'm going to turn that pink. And the colors might be a little off. They're not going to be perfect compared to this image because I didn't save everything. And then you're going to click on each area that you want a certain color. Okay? Oops. Undo that. So each of these black areas are going to be a different color. So we want our cupcake to match our correct colors, and this is hard to do by looking at a phone. So if it's a little glitchy, that's why. But these should be the same colors. Click that. Yeah, that's the same color, I think. Almost fills right now. We just need to get it in the same area. Like which colors we want to be what. So that way we separate everything. And having looking good. And then we can recolor it after we get all the pieces correctly. Okay, so that step is done, but we still have the cupcake liner. You can set up this whole piece to be just brown, or you can do what I did here, and you can set up to be different colors. But since we're gonna do everything different, we're gonna go back to our original, make it black. And I'm gonna show you guys how to do that. So we're gonna take all these and make them that green. Okay. We're almost there. See, it's really not as hard as you think it is. It's just you have to think of it like a backwards puzzle. Alright. So I like those as the color black. I kind of like the color of that cupcake. So now, this is where it's going to get technical again. If we drag this piece away, this is going to pull away like it's a different part of the puzzle piece. We want this whole green area to be one big puzzle piece. So hold down Shift and click each green area. Okay? And just click the green, don't click the black. Okay? So now all those are selected. And then right click. And then group. Okay? Now watch it. Pull that away. All that is one big piece. So you can just put the puzzle together. Okay? We're going to take our black. We're going to do the same thing. Group. Alright? Now with the pinks or the reds, you can change the colors after you do this. So what we're going to go base by of, we're going to take these light pink ones. So hold down Shift. Whoop, get rid of that. We don't want the green part of this puzzle piece. So Shift and select all the light pink areas that you want to become one part of the puzzle. Okay? Group that. Drag that away. Now, this is your last one other than that cherry. You can just drag like I did and select those leftover pieces and group. Okay? So now that we have all our individual colors, you're just like, well, I don't like these colors. Now they're just one big puzzle piece. And we can set up that puzzle piece just like so. Now we can change our colors just in one big group instead of individually. But you got to do them individually first before you do them all together. Because what happens when we ungrouped it, so that way we can do each color to layer it. Does that make sense? Okay, so we zoomed out. Do not group it, okay? You can highlight it and duplicate it to group it so that way it doesn't move. But you need all these layers to be different cuts. So remember, don't group these. Oop, forgot my background was black. So let's go ahead and change these guys to a random color. Okay, so this is what, oop. Go back. Undos. Okay, so the one that we duplicated, I accidentally peeled it apart. So we're gonna group it so that way it doesn't go anywhere. Now it's just stuck as one big piece, okay? But now we have individual colors, okay? So there you are. Stack up your individual colors the way you want them. And it should match up perfectly to the cupcake after you get them all cut out. Because you already sized it before you individually took each color piece. And my Smart Snap is not cooperating right now, so that's why it's not lining up as perfect as I want it to be on my screen. But it will line up perfectly on your screen if you take the time and just inch it. But layering works just like that when you're doing Basic Edition on Silhouette Studio. So if you have any questions on how to do this, please like, comment, or message me down below and I will answer your questions, I promise. So we'll move all this, and then now individual colors can now be cut from a black and white photo, okay? And this is Basic Edition in Silhouette Studio. I didn't use anything from my designer or anything from my business. So that's how you do that. So you guys have a good one. Feel free and like and comment down below. And more Silhouette videos coming soon.